Okay, so now we're going to be talking about our stainless steel ring and track solutions, which is, very much incorporated within the PRT2 range. Sort of looking at what we've been talking about in terms of stainless steel and its properties, etc. Why these options within the PRT2 range?
Well, I think we need to touch base essentially with what our PRT2 range offers in terms of flexibility of size and configuration anyway, okay? And then we know that there are specific industries, food, pharmaceutical, many others, battery production, that specifically require stainless steel slides and bearings in a very, very configurable manner. And that's what we're able to achieve with the stainless steel options of our PRT2 system. Very much the main conduit sometimes in a machine. It's the main artery of conveying product around the system through the various processes in the machine. And what we need to do is we need to look in terms of what PRT2 track systems or rings offer compared to, shall we say, maybe other conveying solutions.
Okay, yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned the fact about this sort of conveying the continuous motion through the machine, and we've already sort of talked about sort of linear solutions within our SL2 range, and of course there's a lot of options which transfer through to the PRT2 range, particularly when it comes to track systems. What sort of can you run us through the different sort of size options? Where do we start in terms of small up to big?
We can go very small to very big, Alec, and we do have heavy-duty options as well. But let's just to keep it to our standard PRT2 sizes. The smallest size of bearing that we do is a size 13 diameter bearing, and we can go up to a size 54 diameter bearing, essentially providing a static capacity, of hundreds of kilograms. So the range of capacity is huge, and also the size and configuration and options of the slides and the tracks and the segments that make up the track system are also important. So we go from a very small 93 diameter segment or ring up to around about, I think, 1501 millimeters as standard diameter, offering a huge amount of choice. And again, in the terms of the sizes, we go from a size 12 millimeter wide V slide up to a size 76 as standard within the PRT2 range. This is what designers need. They need the flexibility, and they need the other things that the V system in one of our traction systems will give them: the durability, the corrosive resistance, the precision, and pretty much all of the other V-guide benefits that we've touched on many times before.
Yeah, of course. And when we're talking about sort of track systems, continuous motion, the type of applications that we see, can be involved in industries such as pharmaceutical, medical, food, and the continuous motion is really about sort of transferring the product through various stations through the process. As you say, it forms the core of the machine. And obviously the PRT2, much like the SL2, is sort of a component-based system. How does the customer go about actually driving these systems?
That's a good question. We obviously have the rack-driven options that we spoke about before. We can provide our ring systems with integrated racks. But of course, we can use our stainless steel PRT2 track options, our tracks, our segments, our rings, our bearings, and we can use those on our driven track systems. So we have belt-driven options, we have scroll-driven options, and above that, of course, we have our GFX, Beckhoff XTS options, where you have each of the movements, each of the movers that move autonomously and give the absolute high excellence of precision and autonomy of movement. So we've got a huge range. It doesn't just stop with a track system with us. We can, of course, offer the complete system.
Okay, and sort of going down to the sort of the very very basic sort of rings. What are the options with the rings in terms of can we segmented rings, and what might they be used for?
We can provide any diameter, any angle of segment to start with. Most typically on track systems, we will be looking at 90-degree segments for a rectangular system, and 180-degree segments for an oval system. But there is no limitation there. We can create triangular tracks, all sorts of things. I think the key, Alec, is flexibility, and the fact that the means of what we can do with these basic elements, they're very, very configurable to suit the bespoke requirement of an individual customer's application.
One of the sort of concerns or things that are brought up when engineers and designers are looking at these solutions is sort of maintenance and lubrication. We know that sometimes in particular applications, lubrication can be a problem, for, say a food type application. What are sort of the solutions there?
We have food grade lubricants, of course. And again, what we do is we can offer the right lubricant for the right application. And it's not just about what the lubricant is, of course. It's keeping the system lubricated properly. So we have various lubrication options, including bleed lubrication, which means low to zero maintenance. Again, all of the usual features and benefits and cost-saving options that the HEPCO V system will provide you with. So many different options. Let's not forget, of course, those high temperature bearings and those vacuum bearings that we talked about before. They're very important and available in our track systems as well, Alec.
Yeah, thank you, David. And really, just to sum up, I mean, we've seen a huge amount of varied applications for our stainless steel PRT2. Anything from sort of vial filling to sort of inspection systems with a camera following an arc, in sort of vacuum type environments. Obviously, you can use the specialist bearings from our SL2 range within it to various sort of food processing type applications. So really, there is a huge amount of flexibility within this product range.
Absolutely right. And while we just touch on food, of course, and food packaging, then we also have to consider wash down, wipe down, the chemicals being used in each of these instances. And this is where the customer can come and talk to us, and we will walk through the process of what's right for that particular application based on those chemical substances and many, many other things.